Alrighty, Sunday night. Didn't know if we were gonna throw another one at you, but yeah, what the heck? I can explain what I think happened to this. The kind of the failed run yesterday with this home built, scratch built, whatever you want to call it, 34 coupe, and my mind has been going, and I actually went back through our videos. Oh, by the way, Sharp Customs, we are rolling. I went back through some of our archive videos, and I watched the 50s truck running. I watched the 98 car running. I watched all of them, eh? And kind of their performance, and knowing what power plants are in each one of them. Now, what I can tell you about this particular model. Oh, you notice I got the windows trimmed out. I was gonna try and get it all buttered up and get it into paint. Maybe just a flat black this afternoon. Maybe airbrush a quick skull and crossbones on the door. Do some kind of a rat rod kind of motif. But yeah, I didn't get there because I was lazy. Sunday, I was lazy. But I'm going to take this off the body. Just set it here. And so, what we got going on here is we've got a 30.5 cc out of, basically I stole it out of this Baja right here. I took the mill out of it. Probably gonna score the battery and the receiver and for this car, because I keep using this radio for just about I just use this transmitter, that receiver, and I just swap from vehicle to vehicle to vehicle. It's just an old tactic, one of the first 2.4 gigahertz that came onto the market that was kind of a reasonable price, probably 20 some odd years ago, and I've had such good luck with it that I just keep using it. That's the one I put in the jet boat too. I got wet, and it's a trooper. It's a trooper. It just keeps going. But I'll put this pipe on, the muffler. This is a canister muffler. I don't find it to be very quiet. I put this copper tubing on with another silencer. Thought it was pretty trick, and because this one was blasting the exhaust right against the side of the body, figured I would shoot it out underneath. So yesterday's run, I made this little collet right here. This little collet was cut off of the 4-stroke motor, and I adapted it to this. And I think I went over it yesterday, but now there's a bolt in here that bolts this to this bell, and I don't think I got it on there quite right. Like basically the two surfaces didn't mate, and what transpired under power was this started to separate. Okay, that cable goes in there pretty deep. There's not much give in there, and when all this, the bell and the collet, started to separate, it was pushing the bell in there up against the clutch, and it ended up having a catastrophic failure. It did cook the clutch. I have one. Only one, the other one's in the garbage, but all the friction material on this one, yeah, totally gone. It burned it to the point that the spring, so we had a red spring, and I'm pretty sure this was an 8,000 RPM clutch, which is, you know, for what I do, that was way too high. That was just what I bought, and I put in this Baja motor. It's a Roven 30.5 cc motor, and that was just what I ordered, you know, I don't know, months ago off Amazon. I got the aluminum bell holder bracket with the bearings and the bolts and whatnot, and I just stuck it in there. Now what I've got in there, I've got about a 5,000 clutch. I'm actually trying to look online for some original Zenoa clutches, because apparently the original Zenoa clutches, like what you would find in, let's say, this old Rayco Jackrabbit, they're like 3,500, 4,000 RPM clutches. So real light spring, grab right away, and those are kind of the clutches I want. I don't want those great big clutches where you gotta, you know, rev it up to, you know, 6, 7, 8, 10,000 RPM before it, you know, grabs the clutch bell and starts to go. Because those are, to me, those are for where you're just ripping constantly. You're just ripping, you know, and that's fine. I want an all-around clutch that grabs quick, it grabs soon, and it just gets the car mobile. Now, I did, after I put this little silencer pipe on, I did a quick little tune in here, and wow, man, the response. I turned both the high and the low needles in almost a half a turn on each one, and this thing is it spins the wheels now. It could probably do donuts. The clutch is working way better. I just have to keep an eye on that little square collet and hope it doesn't come loose. I got it pretty tight now. There's a few other minor issues that I, you know, tightened up nuts and bolts here and there, but I'm going to get it all painted, and then we'll take it out for another test drive. And, you know, we'll see how it works. If it fails again and it burns out the clutch that's in there, then guess I'm going to have to spend the money, and I'm going to have to buy a different clutch setup for this motor, because I really want to run this one. Now, like I was saying, I watched the other videos, like the Chevy truck up there. It's got a 49 cc pocket bike motor, but it's also got a much bigger clutch pack in it. I have to guess it's probably like a 75 millimeter clutch. I believe these are these smaller ones. I believe they're a 52 millimeter. And that motor is a lot bigger. It's got a lot more mass. It's a lot bigger motor. It's a lot heavier. And yeah, it spins the wheels on the truck. You can do donuts with it. Do I want to keep going down this road with my homemade grinder rear ends? Like, you know, the gear ratio on them could be affecting the performance of the motor. Not sure. You know, watch the video of this thing going with the 4 wides on it, and these are just little motors. You know, this is probably a G23 Zenoa. It's either a 23 or a 26, but with the, you know, the gearbox setup and stuff, like these things just work so good. And yeah, it's like I don't really know which road to go down. I like doing the scratch built, but I also, at the same time, I also like, you know, like the yellow coupe up there. You know, taking a Baja that you know works. You know, it works, and with some slight modifications, you know, you can put a fancy body on it. Probably modify one for a GT40. I know for a fact that I can modify one for the Chevy truck. Now, do I want to go down that road? Do I want to buy Bajas and rape them and, you know, put them underneath my quarter scales? That's really not my thing. My thing was always about, you know, home building stuff and trying to make it work, you know, and keep trying to make it work. You know, if one thing doesn't work, well, hey, move on. Would I put a pocket bike motor in here? I don't think so. Those motors, they take up so much room. I don't even know if one would fit in here. I think it would fit with some modifications, but yeah, I want to get, like I said, I want to get this one painted up. I want to try it again. It's a cool little car. It's a cool little car. These things don't, you got to remember, these things don't need to be like a Baja, okay? They don't need to be speed demons. They just got to, I'm going to put the body back on, and I'm going to give you a little scenario. So you got to picture this car. You have to picture it. You have to picture it, you know, all painted, maybe some headlights on it, the grill shroud. You know, maybe you could do something with that. You could cut the center out and you could put like a wire grill in it, or you could leave that in there, and you could probably. I was thinking about doing one of these and using some of this stainless wire and just drilling, you know, holes and putting the wire in there and epoxy it or something just so it looks cool. Now, you can put your spark plug wires, you can put your distributor, you put your headlights, you know, you put your door handles, you put your mirrors. You could detail one of these out to look, you know, pretty sweet looking. And yeah, when you want to run it, guess what? Yeah, you can throw some gasoline in it, and you know, hook up your battery, and you can putter it around the parking lot, or maybe you could putter it around at a car show. I don't know. There's so much that you could do with it. You know, even this one being almost you know, not 100% scratch built, because I've used bits and pieces, you know, here and there that I have bought. But, you know, there's a fine line between building this way and taking a Baja and hacking it all up and just slapping a body on it. It's like you've already got the, you know, the research and development. These things rip. These things rip. They work. They're good, you know. And so all that research and development is done. And I enjoy kind of every single one of my scratch builds that I've built, whether it be the Chevy truck or, you know, the gray 34 or this 34, even the 34 Baja. Every time that I've built something, I've done it different, and to me that is kind of the cool factor. I don't duplicate stuff. As much as I want to in my mind, I want to make them, yeah, okay, make the chassis, make the cradle for the motor and all that stuff. No, every time I get new ideas, and that is, I guess that's the fabricating, creative part of me. I'm always trying to look to, you know, fabricate and create things more simplified, more gooder. But that's kind of my game. That's my game. I was trying to burn time here, man, for you guys. You know, with the 34, I know it can get boring. We have some stuff going on in the printer. I'm going to walk over to the bench and I'm going to show you some other stuff. So this past week, printed out, basically this is a 50 millimeter pump. This is going to be for the other boat project that I'm working on. And I've started printing out impellers. Now I do like this style right here. So in my jet boat I have an impeller made from aluminum, kind of this one right here. You know, mocked it up, cast it in aluminum. Seems to work pretty good. Now for this jet pump, it calls for this weird looking thing, and that doesn't look much like a screw for a jet pump. But I did find some other styles. Found this one. I think if I shrunk, if I took this and I made it a little shorter, like this is about 40 millimeter. If I went down to 30 millimeter, it's going to give me, it's going to reduce the pitch, you know, more to like one of these. So I did this one, but what I did is I increased it to I think about 35 millimeter. And the reason I use this one is because it's a 4-blade. Now this one didn't print out very good, but the second one I printed out better. But what I like about it is I like the thickness in here. Now I've been playing, you know, on the laptop. These ones, they got this weird step shape. They're not very smooth. They're pretty thin, so when you lay this up in plaster, because that's what I did. I laid it up in plaster, you know, with the, you know, your vents and your spars or whatever you want to call them, and then let the plaster cure for, you know, 3-4 days, and then I cook out the PLA. Nowadays, you know, they used to call it lost foam or lost wax. Now you can actually do what they call lost PLA, and you melt the plastic out of your plaster cast, and you pour aluminum, hot molten aluminum into it, and I came up with this one right here. I did this one a couple days ago. My first 4-blade impeller. It's got a nice overlap. I did lose, see the little corner there? I did lose the corner. It didn't quite get it, but yeah, this, and then I machine it, you know, on the lathe, and this one is a nice, it's a nice fit. Now, what I'm going to get into here is, so the one in my jet boat, same pump, 54 millimeter. I just took the file where I found it, and I just printed it as is. This one, I figured the boat, it's a little narrower. I was actually thinking of going with a 40 millimeter pump, and then I thought, oh no, you know what, I'll keep it close, and I'll just go 50 millimeters. But the problem, even with 4 millimeter difference from a 54 millimeter print to a 50 millimeter print, is everything gets smaller. I know it's minute. It's only 4 millimeter, but now those fancy schmancy skateboard bearings that I have lots of at my shed, they didn't fit in here. That was the cool thing with the 54 millimeter. Everything accepted the skateboard bearing. And I don't like having to go research and go on Amazon and, you know, look for different size bearings and stuff. I kind of like to use what I just have available. Now this, I actually did clamp it in the lathe, and I turned it nice and slow, and I bored out to get one of those bearings to fit in this end. And it's perfect. It's fine. It's great. Oh, there we go, man. The 3D printer is done. And I've been printing out the other bits and pieces. We've got the this piece to encapsulate the bearing, you know, to hold it in there. I made this a little too big. This, with the stator in it, it works. It's the right size. This diameter was 80 millimeter, so I just printed this 80 millimeter. It'll work. The holes line up nice, but you have this little spacer here, and so I found this bearing in my bearing pack. Now the shaft I am using is I believe it's 15/16. Yeah, and it fits the skateboard bearing, oh, just perfect. But it also fits this smaller bearing perfect. Now, could I put this piece in my lathe and turn this out a bit more to get a skateboard bearing to fit in there? I kind of had this other quick little idea using the smaller bearing. Press OK. Hey, what happened? Oh man, it did this the other day. It quit on us. It did this to me the other day, man. We're in, like 500 hours or so, and it just stopped printing. It just kind of froze. Now, anyhow, I can explain with the pieces I have over here. I was just reprinting those because this is, it's like just a hair too big, the diameter. I could probably still use it, but my idea was to take this little plastic insert. Now, see, it's a little sloppy in the hole. That's what's in the printer. I was reprinting another one because my idea was I can, this is nice and round. I can put it in the lathe. Oh, yeah, it's probably gone now. Now we're on the hunt. Oh, there it is. So my idea was just to print this little nylon or PLA bushing, stick it in the lathe, and bore out the inside of it so that this bearing fits in there nicely. And then you just push this in nicely, nice and flush. Bearing sits in there, and then your bearing cover holder goes over top of it, however it lines up. Right like that, and bada boom, bada bing. You got your two bearings. You get your rear bearing. You got your front bearing, and easy peasy. Just because I could grab this in the lathe like that, but when I did this, it actually it fell out a couple of times while I was boring out this end. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. A little bit smaller pump, 50 millimeter actually, to be precise. This is machined down to 49 millimeter. Now I know it looks a little rough. It's got some specks and stuff in there, and I did file it and I did sand it. Trust me, I did a lot of work on this. Got to round these corners a bit more. But nice impeller. I did test it in the pond. Seemed to push water pretty good. I mean, just with a drill. But yeah, there you have it, man. A little bit of update on that 34 coupe. A little bit of update on another jet pump that we're going to put in Steven's boat from across the pond. And I got a surprise for that guy as far as the what's going to spin the pump, but that's going to have to be left for a future video. And yeah, there you have it, man. Sharp Customs, share, like, subscribe. Love you all. That's all I got for tonight, man. Keep on rocking. Peace. I'm out.